Sarah, all day. Hell yeah.
Arm wrestling's about to take place.
Yeah.
You know, there's been back and forth between Tom, he's on here right now, and Freddie Sanchez from Texas. They've been going back and forth, making videos to each other. Tom, who actually made the call out? Was that Freddie?
He made the call out. So, well, I was on a live stream and somebody asked me about him in the comments, but, you know, people ask me about whoever, and I just make a response. I said I would crush that dude, which, you know, I stand by. I think I'll destroy this dude. So just a matter of finding a promoter. We can get 1,500 because I'm trying to make some money while I do this.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to bring up. I wanted to bring up because there was a lot of back talk on when they heard that you made that the $1,500 demand with the promotions, and a lot of guys are saying, like, who are you to be able to do that? And, you know, you got to do more super matches before you get paid like that. So I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think is like a good, you know, somebody calls you out in a super match, where's a good starting point? And when can you start like demanding big money from promoters? And you know, I kind of just want to
one thing about super matches, I think, you know, like 20, 30 years ago, arm wrestlers would just go to tournaments and compete in tournaments. Nowadays, super matches are like the big thing. But if you're not like an elite level, like, you know, a guy like Lachlan, Mike Aiello, some of these guys who have competed at that high level, then what's the point? You're just trying to get rankings locally, but it just doesn't really mean that much. But if you can make money out of it through social media and stuff, that's what I'm trying to do. So people say, you know, who are you to do that? Well, I don't care. Then I'll just keep postponing it until people are begging for that match, until the demand is there, and then eventually it's going to happen, I'm certain.
We got a $5 super chat from Unix Format, and it's trivia is cool. Maybe slow it down. More trivia. Thank you for that super chat, brother. And are you from Chicago? Did I get to meet you over in Indiana at the After Pool House? I think I did over there. I wanted to ask, what makes an elite arm wrestler? Where do you get that title? You know, is it the rankings that give you that title? Is it people you beat in super matches? What makes you where you could call yourself an elite puller? I want to ask our guest that first. Mike, let's start off with you on that.
I would say, you know, once you start like beating guys who are at that level, like there's always a gatekeeper that, you know, like if you beat that guy, you're let into the room. Like, okay, you know, now you can start like hanging out and mingling with with the names of the sport. And then other people start saying that you're like an elite puller. I don't think I'm an elite puller, but I'm right there. I mean, I'm knocking on the door kind of a thing. I was always right there, but I don't consider, some people say I was like, I don't know. But I always thought like when I was coming up, like Tom Nelson was like the guy to beat to like get into the elite level. But I let other people say that. I would never call myself that. You know what I mean?
So would you say it's like a kind of like a rankings thing? Do you got to be in
the
top
like
10?
Like everyone has like that big match that they won. Like, you know, I beat Todd Hutchings, I beat Tim Bresnan, I beat you know, a few of RVJ, you know, a whole bunch of guys when I first started coming up, and it was like, holy shit, you know, like Aiello's, you know, a name now or whatever. And then you start getting the phone calls, you know, from the sponsors, and what will it take you to come to my tournament in Florida and California and whatever. And then you can start saying, well, you know, I demand this, like, you know, flight, hotel, and, you know, whatever money that you say. But, you know, you let other people, I mean, unless what he's doing, it's different from when I started. And now with the whole social media thing, what these guys are doing is actually absolutely fuck it. If no one's opening the door, kick it the fuck down, bro. Like make it like a full match where it's all over the internet. It's all over Facebook and Instagram. You guys are fucking talking shit. That's awesome. You don't have to be like a fucking name. It, you know, when it goes back and forth like that, it's people want to see it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, don't wait for fucking anything. Do it yourself.
That's one thing where I like what Ryan Bone is doing with creating his own promotion, because you don't have to be indebted to another promotion. Social media makes you able to put the matches out there yourself, put the trash talk out there yourself. You can monetize it yourself. You don't have to be, you know, chained to anyone else's demands or politics of a certain league or anything like that. So it really gives you more freedom to do what you want, and people can say what they want, but that's the nature of the internet.
Yep.
I want to hear from Lachlan. What do you consider to get that elite title?
I think it's a two-part question, because there's a difference between being elite and then and between actually being able to get money for a tournament. I think just being able to provide value to the promoter who's investing in you. At the end of the day, I think pullers need to realize that the promoter is making an investment in you, and you need to be able to provide them with value. And if that comes from advertising, if that comes from match hype, could be, two names going head to head. Like, I think the only reason I got the match with Todzilla originally is because I was kicking the fucking door down, and it created enough interest and enough hype where people wanted to see the match, and it made sense for Paul to be able to, put the whole thing together and get me up there. So, but then the difference between that and then becoming, that elite level, I'm much like Mike. I feel like the ceiling's right there, and I keep bashing my head against the wall and against the roof, and eventually, well, soon, hopefully this year, it's when I can pop my head up and kind of see what's going on in that elite arena. So I think I'm a top level pro, but elite, as Mike said, you either get called that by other people, or you recognize the elite level and you could just be right there, and you can, realize that you've just popped your head up. But I think getting paid and being elite are two different things. Often they're synonymous, but yeah, with kind of smaller events that aren't East vs West or King of the Table, then yeah, you've got to be able to provide value to the promoter.
Josh, what's your thoughts on this?
I think obviously getting results, but when your peers, your fellow arm wrestling peers, go a long way. If like John Brzezinski goes, he's elite, then everyone's going to fucking listen, for example. But then like there's people like where they can take their, getting big paydays. Coach Ray and Ryan Bowen have been brilliant with the way they use their social media platform to get big matches on East versus West, when realistically, Coach Ray and Bowen aren't, necessarily elite. Like Lachlan's the elite guy in Australia, but Bowen and Coach Ray are using their platform to get to get their name out there, and they're getting these big matches on a big stage.
I got to throw this in. When I first came into the sport, I was in 3 years ago. The guy that I looked to as the gatekeeper of that elite door, and he was on the elite side in my eyes, is Mike Aiello. I feel like you were always at the thing, like around like 9, 10 in the top rankings of North America, and if you wanted to be taken seriously and wanted to get those super matches, he was the guy you had to go through first. And that's what I always saw. So when you were telling us that story, it was Tom Nelson to you, Mike, that's where I was looking at you as, you were the guy you had to knock on the door to get through that elite.
Who's the gatekeeper to y'all right now, Mike and Lachlan? Who do y'all see as the gatekeeper?
Oh, I still see it as Mike. Let's just assume that he's just as strong as he was before his back injury, or the back surgery rather. Still a gatekeeper. If I beat Mike, that's a statement for me. Not only is it good to get, avenge a loss and what have you, but that puts my stocks up considerably. And I think conversely, post-injury, beating me would probably put your stocks. People are going to know where you're at, and you can obviously build on that platform. But I still see Mike as the super heavyweight gatekeeper.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to say I don't see him as the gatekeeper today. It's just he hasn't been competing in the last year or so, and I just felt
like riding a bike. I think all of his lifts are already up. Get that endurance back on that table. It only takes a couple of weeks. When I've taken a little bit of time off, it's taken 3 or 4 practices, and I got all my endurance back. So yeah, it doesn't take long when you've been doing it so long.
If you had to ask me though, if you didn't have Mike in and Mike was still injured, the guy that I look at today as that probably the gatekeeper would probably be Wayne Withers. What do you guys feel about that? Do you think Wayne Withers is kind of like a gatekeeper to that elite door?
Or Derek Smith?
Oh, not Derek Smith.
What's up with the Derek Smith hate?
Yeah, I mean, when Derek Smith is on, then yeah.
He's just not consistent enough, I think, to be the gatekeeper.
So let me ask you, did Austin Jaggers just walk through the gate now when he beat Derek Smith?
Yeah,
did he just walk through that door?
Probably Jaggers, although he hasn't matched with – oh, no, he did have a match with Wayne Withers, but that was
maybe Tim Bresnan also as a gatekeeper.
That was recent.
I mean, that's what Derek considered Tim Bresnan as a gatekeeper, that, once he beat him, he's like, oh, no.
It matters
for
with
Tim
Tim
Hardaway,
Bresnan. Matters what shape Tim Bresnan's in, because I've seen Tim Bresnan where he's on top of his game, and then I've also seen Tim Bresnan where it looks like he wasn't too trained up and all. So I question some days where he's at.
that's actually a good question. Who is the gatekeeper now? That's a really good question.
I think Mike and Austin is a good match.
What was that?
Mike and Austin. I think they should probably have a match.
Oh,
I think that's really. I put Mike as the favorite, but
he's got a good move outside. Yeah, he looks really solid. He got big, man. Yeah. I met him when he was like 20 years old. He's like he's the real deal.
How old is he now?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
How old's Austin now?
He's young.
Is he?
Probably in his 20s, late 20s.
Yeah, I think he's like 26 to 28, something around there.
Yeah.
That's my guess. What about Chance Shaw? Because that was another guy I always looked at that could be that gatekeeper.
By the way, is he coming back? I thought I saw him get announced.
Yeah,
does he have a match?
Calling.
Yeah, he's got a match against Oleg Petrenko.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
That's really, really good.
And it's the Ukrainian guy, right? He was what's his name? The legend of our sport. It was his mentor.
Because John Brzezinski
Pushkar. Yeah, that's it.
Petrenko was in top 8 before that dissolved. He was selected for the under 95 top 8 before PAL went under. But yeah, he's legit. He competed recently. Dominated whoever he had left-handed. I forget what happened.
He beat Zurab left-handed and lost to John Brzezinski right-handed.
Yeah,
it's off the top of my head.
So Freddie just answered back, it's weak as fuck when you don't put your money where your mouth is. That's why no one is respecting Tom on this, no matter what level.
Chihuahua keeps barking.
I want to get down to this. So what I'm saying is, do we think that $1,500 is fair to ask for a promoter? Because me being a promoter, bro, I wouldn't pay the money, man. It's not
a matter of fair or not. It doesn't really matter to me. Those are my conditions, and that's it.
Okay.
And if it's not going to happen in recent time, then it'll happen down the road. But like I said, I'm looking to make money off this. I don't really give a shit what people think. So that's that.
Yeah, I don't see that actually happening then, because
you're not going to put up 1,000 on that.
Oh no,
the other dude said he has a 500 on it.
Oh, bro, I wouldn't put up anything, dude. I don't, I personally, bro, I just think that Freddie is, way levels ahead of you, bro. I know you're 3 years in.
I definitely disagree.
I just look at this, bro. You're 3 years in the sport, man. I don't think you realize
you're gonna be shocked.
to the levels.
You're gonna be shocked.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think so.
No offense, you've done fuck all. So what?
I beat a couple guys. Lachlan.
Okay, but what justifies the $1,500? Because like Paul, sorry, I don't see it. That isn't fair.
Like I said, it's not a matter of it being justified or not. I mean, when the demand is there, money. What's that?
What are your expenses? You want to make money out of it. What are your expenses? Like Mike and I have expenses for making a match, but what are yours?
They live in the same state.
1,500 to the winner is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like you're asking to make money from it. I'm saying, well, what are your,
Well, it's fine. It's fine if it doesn't happen. Like I said, he's the one that was interested in the match. So I'm interested in competing in tournaments and leveling up, long term and, improving. But if he wants the match, I gave the conditions. It's that simple.
It's just crazy that someone did put $500 on the table and he turned it down. It's almost like he knows that no one's going to put up $1,500, so that's just a scapegoat.
You can think whatever you want.
Yeah, because I don't know, man. It's like you live near him, man. It's like within driving distance. Nobody needs a hotel.
At least 10 hours or something.
We got $500. You guys could find, whatever tournaments coming up next.
How about we up that a little bit? Like I said, I'll pull him I'm going to be pulling tournaments, so he can come find me at a tournament.
I was going to say that.
Because I'm going to be competing. I'm absolutely going to be competing.
So Arm Wrestling News said Pradeep's in the chat, and he's saying the question is, how does the promoter make his money back? And that's what I'm trying to explain, dude. There's no, I know you guys got a beef and all that, but there's no justification from a promoter. And if we go and give you $1,500 as a prize, we were going to have everybody and their mother that thinks they're the next $1,500 match. And that's where a promoter falls into problems, because
What is a promotion? It is selling pay-per-views, right? So at some point they're getting revenue back, or it's entry fees, or it's, you know, to a tournament. There's some way they're making money.
They're not, bro. Not from pay-per-view. Unless you have a big name on the card, you are not making a penny on it, dude.
So
I'll
then
tell you that straight up.
Okay, so then it's whoever wants to put the money up.
Okay, so we got a $2 super chat from Greg Brown TV. Send me the link, Paul. Okay, yeah, let's get Greg in the room. You mind if we bring Greg on real quick? Greg is the guy that's putting the money up for the possible match.
Oh, so someone else is putting the money up.
Yeah, we have somebody. That's why we're trying to make this happen, and you know we're almost there.
I think sometimes it just be the love of wanting to make it happen. You know, sometimes a promoter just goes, yeah, like I've got some money to burn, whatever, and they just give it because they want to see it happen.
Yeah.
So apart from that, yeah, but like,
and the more I deny this match, the more there is going to be demand for that,
or it'll just fade.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But like I said, I'm not even interested in the match. I'm just looking to improve long term. But he's the one who's been chasing me, you know, talking shit on social media. I get it. It's smart. Look, like I have a social media presence. He's trying to elevate his name, but
the thing is, bro,
I mean, to be fair, he's beating arm wrestlers bigger than you, though.
Yeah, bro, and he's out active.
What's that? What'd you say, Josh?
He's beating arm wrestlers that are way bigger names than you, though. So I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
I don't see that. I was not impressed. I looked at his recent matches, was not impressed.
I don't know, bro. He pulls a lot, man. And you know, I've thrown a bunch of events in Oklahoma, Texas. He's always showing
his wrist is vulnerable. I'm going to take his wrist.
He's always killing it, bro. That's why I just at the beginning I was like, I don't even think this is a match. You know, I look at Freddie as like a OG, 15 years in puller. You know, and
you're gonna be shocked, Paul. Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, man. I'm gonna keep this clip.
All right. I just know, man. I'm in 3 years too, bro. And you know, I went around the country, and you know, I get to feel a lot of hands, and you know, there's levels of this shit, bro.
I haven't felt my hand, have you?
No, not yet, man. I want to. I definitely do, man.
Yeah,
I gotta feel
you should throw an event. Throw an event and put us on the card.
Yeah, so if I had an event going on, bro, you know, I would open it up to you guys. I wouldn't pay the money for it, but I would give you guys that stage. It's just I don't have anything coming up. I'm in Florida. I told you the deal. I'm setting up my businesses here. Once that's all set up, you know, that could maybe next week happen. You know, then I could start planning my next big thing and all that. But until then, you know, I'm kind of just tied up. And, you know, I know a couple people are asking Josh, put it out there. Maybe I throw in $500. Like I said, I wouldn't do that just because I'd have everybody and their mother asking to get the next super match. But if I did throw an event, I'd offer, you know, something to you guys to make that happen.
Tom, what did you do before arm wrestling, work-wise?
Work-wise, I've done personal training. I've done sales. Okay, so you haven't done anything that's labor-intensive. So I find the guys that are only a couple of years in who are really good, they've been like diesel mechanics, or they've been like concreters and shit like that. Their tendons and ligaments are having that all-day stimulus, and they just get thicker, right? So even though when we squeeze shit, right, if I squeeze grips right now, we feel it now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. The limiting factor is your hand, right? It's going to be the tendons and ligaments in your hand. If that doesn't have the stability to be able to keep up with the forearm, well, you're only going to be able to crush so much.
And control is critical. That's what I was saying. Like when I see Freddie's recent matches, he loses his wrist.
I'm saying, you don't have tendons and ligaments. That shit takes
you don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Hey, yo, Paul.
Fair enough.
It's not a problem.
Thanks for sending me the link, Paul. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Have you seen any matches? I'm just curious. Have you seen any matches that I've been in?
Yeah, I've seen one or two. But here's the thing.
Which ones?
I'm about anatomy here. You can't fuck around with that. If you've not been working with your hands like significantly before that 3 years, the tendons and your ligaments in your hands just don't get the
stimulus. You can be a construction worker for 30 years, but if you've never arm wrestled, it's not going to mean shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying guys who are early in, like 3 years in, and they've been working with
I've had a weight training background for
people talking over the top of me. Okay.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me just introduce Greg. Greg, what's up? Welcome to the room, guys. How you doing, Greg?
So, I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you for letting me come in. And hey, this is pretty exciting, man. There was a couple of videos got put out by some other YouTubers. Grip and Rip. I agree with you 100%. Paul, I agree with you 100%. Tom, I got all the money, Tom.
You got
Convince me as the investor why.
You got 1,500?
Depends. You going to bring
value?
Depends.
It's a yes or no, buddy.
That's how you're going to talk to the guy holding the money. Come on, baby. Tell me,
is that a yes or
why
no?
should
you
why
answer the question?
Well, hey, Tom,
why are you worth $1,000 appearance, bro?
I'm not gonna fucking write you a paragraph or an essay describing why I deserve it. Is it a yes or no? Listen,
well, I just opened my own business, and when I went to the bank, I needed a business plan. Just saying.
So it's a no. Okay, it's a no. Got it.
Tom,
you don't even let me talk. I'm asking if I put up the money. What I want you to tell me, Tom. I want you to tell me, why are you worth $1,000 appearance?
1,500.
You said if I just give you 1,000, you would show up.
Oh, 1,000. Okay, because that's just the conditions. I don't care whether you believe I'm worth it or not. That's irrelevant.
Well, good luck to you, man, because that's a poor attitude. And let me tell you something. You know why I started arm wrestling? I got 4 older brothers, and it was never about money. It was about fucking winning and crushing my opponent.
I love it. But
since when did arm wrestling become about money?
I'm doing it?
We got Pradeep in the room. Pradeep is saying, what is the biggest amount Tom has made from, oh man, I just moved.
1,500. That's one of the reasons why I thought that was a good figure.
He said, what is the biggest amount Tom has made from arm wrestling till now? YouTube or tournaments?
1,500. Locked and loaded finals, first place.
So for
I wasn't bluffing when I said there's other opportunities on the table. So you remember I said, where's your line?
So that's a no.
Yeah, it's no. You can't even sell me on yourself. What are you doing, bro? You never been to a job interview? Why should I hire you? Why should I hire you, Tom?
Like I said, I don't have to explain myself here.
Okay. So well, then that's it. You squandered it, Tom. Goodbye. You fucking squandered it. I told you not to do it, and you did it. Don't fucking squander it, kid. God damn, man.
So, Tom, is there any negotiating here, or no?
I think I made it pretty clear in the original video. Those are the conditions right there. So,
all right. So the next other thing that we could do is just find a tournament, and then you guys hopefully run into each other in a tournament. So
yeah, absolutely.
And the next thing you have is June 3rd. You got that finals coming up. You'll be there in West Virginia.
Not confirmed on that. I'm looking to do locked and loaded here in Texas. So Freddie, get your ass out here, 240-pound weight class, buddy.
He's got to heal up. He's got other super matches, bro. Sorry.
With Jody Williams, I've already beaten that guy. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Well, doesn't matter.
What are you? His talking head?
We're focusing on super matches, in here? Bro, not you.
What are you, his talking head?
Well, let's talk about it. So, Tom, you have a win on Jody Williams. You beat him in a tournament.
Yeah, it was my first pro tournament.
Okay, and where was that one?
That was in Hawthorne, 2021, with like a year training.
Okay, I want to know because Jody's a good friend of mine.
Hold up, I want to talk to Lachlan again for a second because I have gym experience before arm wrestling. It's not like I just came into it with no gym training, no muscular background. So that's why I just kind of want to understand what your point was there.
Well, Tom, if you're listening, instead of talking over the top of me constantly, I've been lifting since I was 15. I've got tendon and ligament thing that you're referring to. Come to arm wrestling. Oh, we find ourselves a limiting factor, don't we? And I've been powerlifting for years and years and years. And what I was trying to explain to you, if you could keep your mouth shut for 2 seconds, was when we get guys who are construction workers and they work with their hands all the time, all they need is a couple years in arm wrestling specifically, and they've built those tendons and ligaments in their hands, unlike so many other people. It's just anatomy, okay? So what I'm saying is you're versing a guy who's 15 years, 12 years, you're arm wrestling senior, right?
You said he's been arm wrestling 10 years, I think.
Okay, well, either way, he's been doing it for a long time. You've only been doing it for 3 years. Now, you might have a really good bicep, which has gotten me through a lot of matches before I was able to develop the hand. So what I'm saying is don't be surprised. You know, you're going against these guys who are way more experienced than you. And there's just some shit that you've not been able to build in the 3 years because tendons and ligaments take an extremely long time to build. Like a really long time. We're talking a 1% improvement in strength per year in a proper regimented grip program. And you can argue with the peer-reviewed articles if you want, but it's 1% per year is probably the most that we can actually gain in tendon and ligament strength in our hands. But about 200.
So my tendons have strengthened significantly since I started.
Hold on. hold on, Tom. I'm 25 years in bodybuilding, bro. I did it longer than practically much everybody in here except maybe Mike. You know what I mean? And same thing, bro. I came in and I thought I was the next John Brzenk, training 2-3 times a day, traveling, meeting up with Travis, Toddzilla, learning from the best, man. And all it did for me, bro, I popped both tendons, both arms. And my muscles are maxed out, but just like Lachlan's saying, bro, your tendons and ligaments need the time. There's nothing you can do to speed that up. It's just time, miles on the table, man.
John Brzenk said, if you haven't seen the improvements in the first 3 to 4 years, then you should quit. He said something to that effect. And I will say my tendons have gotten significantly stronger from when I started. I definitely understand what you guys are saying. When you have the muscular strength, but you go in there and you don't have the static strength, and some of your first practices, you just get destroyed. And I definitely can relate to that. But I've been training highly consistently for 3 years, very focused, eating, training, sleeping. And I can assure you, I've beaten guys with 10 plus, 20 plus years experience, guys like Scott Partington. I beat Jody Smith, number 2 in California. Very close matches, guy number 1 in California. Beat Mega Mike on the left hand, Jody Williams left hand. I can assure you that I'm not just some random guy with a couple muscles who's just, coming into a super match. I intend to destroy Freddie.
We got a super chat from Pradeep from Armwrestling News. Tom, not being able to explain why you deserve it sounds like a girl saying I am 10 just because I think so. Thank you, Pradeep, for that super chat.
Hey, Tom, for what it's worth.
Hey, Pradeep, take a shot.
For what it's worth, Tom, I believe you.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I believe you.
You're gonna put up the money?
You've made leaps and bounds in 3 years. You're a way better arm wrestler than me. But I dealt with all those pains that they're talking about because I thought because I had big muscles, I could get on the table. And man, I couldn't.
Nobody can avoid the arm wrestling pains, and it takes time to strengthen your tendons. But at what point,
that's what he just said. Hey, bro. But
it takes more than 3 years.
Now what it looks like is dude, you got to prove yourself, homie. You got to prove yourself now. Fuck the money. Fuck the money, kid. You got to prove yourself.
Come to the locked and loaded.
This comes down to basic arm wrestling tradition. Who's fucking better, Tom? Is it you or is it Freddie? Come on, kid. You want to fucking arm wrestle or you want to fucking make money? Go get a job if you want money.
Both.
Hey, go get a job if you want money. You want to fucking arm wrestle or what?
Want to do both.
Hold on. There's a tremboloni sandwich my wife just made. 1 second.
We got a $1.99 Junior Williams.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Tom, learn to compromise. Will you meet in middle 1K?
Well, you see how this is escalated to the point where people get
beautiful,
and then
it's
they're
drama.
More willing to put in.
You never
money,
watched MTV, dude? MTV with fucking Teen Mom and all the fucking housewives selling Orange County. It's straight drama, kid. You got a gift. You're like the protagonist that everyone wants to see fall. But you know what? That sells tickets. That sells tickets, Tom. Don't be stupid, bro. $500. Come on, make it happen for your career. Make it happen for your career.
I told you the conditions.
Well, good luck with that, bro.
Continue to piss you guys off.
Hey, Mike Alio, I'm a huge fan, dog.
Dude, you're fucking hilarious, bro.
See you later, Lachlan. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Lachlan, YouTube. Hey, fuck yeah, dude. You're the best.
Thanks, Greg. But
well, we're gonna end this show like that, guys. Hopefully we can maybe actually make this happen one day, or we could get to see this happen at Locked and Loaded. Maybe the promoters maybe want to get some going, maybe talk to the guys over there. I think that's that guy Greg from California that throws it. So maybe Greg would be interested, and he could work with Greg over here, and maybe they could make this match go down. I wish you guys luck with that.